When you're buying a house, should you go and actually have your sewer lines inspected? Namely, putting a camera through the sewer to make sure that everything's open and everything flows the right way. Let me know below, would you do it? But today, let's talk about what somebody else did and what happened. So this particular property is a quite nice one, right? It's a couple $1 million property. Looks beautiful, but the home's from the 1950s. And they were concerned that when you're buying an old house like that, sometimes the infrastructure underground doesn't really look all that great. It can look kind of gnarly. So they wanted to have the sewer lines looked at with a camera. That's where I come into play. So what we do is we pop the lid open, toss the camera back to the house, and see what we see. Sometimes we see stuff that we don't want to see, and sometimes we don't see anything at all. This particular house was very interesting because it had two sewer lines exiting the house. It had one that was the main line coming straight off the back, but they had built an addition on the other side. So it actually had a line that was coming across and intersecting. So with this particular system, the county never really sent us over any paperwork. So we don't really know what the design spec was. We don't know who put it in, when they put it in. So we're kind of going in a little bit blind. And that's kind of also why it's important to make sure that you get the scope of the sewer line so you can see what actually is there regardless of what the county says. I cannot tell you how many times I've had a house where it will say on the paperwork, the system was put in 1981. And you get there and there is no way that the system that's on the property is actually from 1981. And the reason why is because a lot of times people will file the application for the permit with the design, but they'll never have the as-built or finish the project. They'll start the property or start the project. Maybe there's a time constraint, a budgetary constraint. Maybe somebody gets hurt and just doesn't have a chance to finish it. And then for whatever reason, nobody ever follows up and the permit just stays there on file. And people think that you have a moderately brand new system compared to a 1953 system. So in this particular circumstance, we got two lines, right? We have one line in the back, one line from the side. But about 2 foot, 3 feet from the tank is a giant tree. And you know how I love trees on septic systems. It always causes some problems. Trees and septic systems don't really get along, and for some reason people will still constantly keep putting them on top of their tanks, and it almost always causes some problems. So what could possibly be going on today? Well, we've got 3 points of root intrusion that are causing some problems. The primary one is the secondary line that's coming from the other side. It's full of roots. So part of the issue that we're seeing with the home inspection side is that one bathroom just isn't quite flushing right, and they were like, well, maybe it's on the old side. It could be going something on. No, it's just because the pipe's full of roots and water can't get past. So much so that like the back end of the pipe is basically bone dry. You don't see anything. There's a little bit of a belly right before the tank itself, but you don't see any water coming through at all on that side of the home. And you don't see it on the main line either. So we think that those roots are the ones that are causing some problems here. The other line looks fine. It's cast iron pipe, but right where the pipe enters the tank, there's a whole bunch of roots. Now, these roots are kind of dangling in from the top. So if you have your circular pipe, right, there's usually going to be a seal between the tank walls and the pipe itself. So as time goes on, that seal generally is hydraulic cement. Sometimes it's a plastic grommet. It just kind of depends on the installer and the manufacturer. But sometimes that seal will go bad. And when that seal goes bad, those roots will work their way in there. Now, roots on the bottom are not as big of an issue as roots on top. Roots across the board should not exist. Like, you do not want roots whatsoever around the pipe. But the concern with having roots on the top end of the pipe is as those roots grow, they'll work their way down until eventually they can cover the pipe and stuff can get stuck, causing a backup to the house. So now we have two potential issues to deal with, but we have a third. So when you look inside the tank, you can see your baffles, right? A baffle is a shield. You have one on the front and you have one on the back. The baffle on the front, its sole purpose is to slow everything down so that way you can get nice separation of solids in the tank. The goal of the baffle in the back is to prevent the scum, the floating stuff, from getting into the pipe and causing a clog. So it's just a physical barrier that stops the floating stuff from getting into the pipe. Now, the issue is we can see a ton of roots coming through the lid on the back of the tank, and it's about the size of a beach ball. There is just so many roots on the back end of the tank that when you put about 50 or 60 gallons of water into the system, immediately backs up. So that means those roots are causing a problem on the rear end of the system as well. So all of this is basically to reinforce, do not put a tree on your septic system. Also, make sure you get your system scoped. It's a good idea no matter what you do. Whenever you have an older system, it's very important to make sure that you have somebody look through the entirety of it, because a lot of times you'll find that some stuff is broken or some stuff just isn't quite working the way that it's supposed to work. I will find that a lot of these older houses with the older occupants generally didn't treat the systems as well as they ought to. And that's because back in older times, if you had a septic system, you didn't need to pump it. That's false, and there's a lot more evidence proving that you didn't need to do it, but a lot of people just let it go, and they wouldn't address it until they had a problem. Nowadays, we've learned more, we have more evidence to prove that that's not right, that's not the correct thing to do. With a proper pumping schedule, you're able to maintain everything, and then you will get a longer lifespan out of the service of your drain fields. The older systems didn't always have drain fields. Some of them did, but a lot of times you would see things called pits or dry wells or seepage pits. Same thing, except for instead of going to be skinny and long, it's going to be big and tall. So those are always fun because they're easier to measure because it's usually just a large void. But the concern with a dry well is that a lot of times they were empty. So if you drive something heavy over top of it, if there's any structural issues with the lid whatsoever, you're probably going through. I've seen so many heavy pieces of equipment for like tree companies, pool companies, landscapers. I've seen them just crush right through. So you got to be careful with those. Drain fields are a little bit more safer. You won't really see dry wells that often anymore. So all of this being said, the big thing that you got to remember is with a septic system, don't put a tree over top of it. It will almost always cause problems. When you're buying a house, or even if you're doing a renovation, or maybe it's been 10 years since you've looked at the pipes, it's a good idea to have somebody send a camera through there so you can see what's going on. If you have problems with roots, if you don't know that they're there, you can't fix it until you have a major problem with roots, and nobody wants that. This particular property has a couple problems, but not the end of the world. But again, get your sewer lines looked at. Make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to do. If you want to run a camera yourself, you can. A lot of places will even rent them to you, like ABC Rental, Sunbelt Rentals. I think Home Depot has a camera rental process as well. Not 100% sure on that one, but I'm sure you could find one somewhere. You Google local rental shops, I'm sure you'll find something somewhere. If you found this enjoyable, or if you gained any value out of this conversation, make sure you hit that like button. I have videos posted every day on the World of Well and Septic, and I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow.